I'm Mike Marcotte, and welcome to Open Arms of Minnesota. Open Arms is a nonprofit serving free medically tailored meals to our neighbors battling life-threatening illnesses, including cancer, HIV/AIDS, ALS, MS, and many others. And those meals are made right here in our state-of-the-art kitchen. We're so glad that you're joining us for this virtual lunch and learn session. That is a series which gives you the chance to connect with our staff during COVID-19. We got the masks on today. A time where we've all been asked to stay distant from one another, but a chance for us to at least connect in this virtual way. In the summer of 2020, we have given you a tour of our organic farm. We've heard from our CEO during our Lunch and Learn series, and we introduce you to our team of in-house registered dietitians. And today, I'm in the kitchen because it's time for our chefs to shine as we kick off a whole new second season. I'm here with Blake Longlin. He is our food service director for Open Arms. How are you, Blake?
I'm great, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. So, Blake, you have an incredible team of chefs who work here at Open Arms, producing amazing meals every single week. And you all have extensive experience in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, so my chefs and myself have all worked in many areas of the culinary services industry. I've worked for hotels, I've worked for high-end catering companies. We have Chef Kevin, who's worked for Chef Wiseacre. We have two chefs from Bordeaux. We have so many different experiences here. So we are really blessed to have some amazing high-end chefs cooking some amazing food for amazing clients.
Awesome. So a couple days ago, I had an all-access pass here in the kitchen. Blake gave me the full access pass, and I joined three chefs. I joined Chef Kevin, Joanne, and Carrie to make some incredible recipes. And if you are watching this live, and I hope you are, and thank you to those who are watching us live right now, you can ask us questions on YouTube that Blake is going to answer later in today's Lunch and Learn. And that comment box is right on the right-hand side of this YouTube page. Our culinary adventure starts this afternoon with a dry brine roasted chicken with a chimichurri sauce. Let's take a look. It's time for lunch. We got Chef Kevin. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing well, thank you. What are you making for us today? And you're going to get me going here in the kitchen.
Well, when I was asked to make a video, I was thinking about things that I really love to make.
Yeah.
And I really love to eat at home, especially for this season. And that for me is a roasted chicken.
Ooh.
But how do you know, everybody loves roasted chicken, or at least if you're not a vegetarian, everybody loves roasted chicken. How do you kind of elevate that without having to do too much work? What we're going to do that is actually make a dry brine roasted chicken. At its essence, a brine is generally speaking 2 parts salt to 1 part sugar.
Okay.
And what that's going to do is that's going to help season the chicken ahead of time.
Okay.
There's such a thing as a wet brine as well, but we're not going to do that today because you have to deal with submerging the chicken in water, chicken juice everywhere.
This seems much easier.
This is far easier, which is why I
Okay,
enjoy
so
it.
what's inside here?
We've got 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, hence the 2 to 1. We've got a ½ tablespoon of white pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, allspice, thyme, dried rosemary, sugar, cayenne, and a little secret ingredient, baking soda. I'm going to adjust my mask, but I'm going to take my gloves off because I won't
Thank you. Open arms rule.
Gotta stay covered up.
Why are we using baking soda?
So baking soda is a little trick that I learned from Cooks Illustrated, just kind of cooking through the years, and it really, really works. What baking soda does, you're not going to actually taste that, but it actually lowers the temperature at which caramelization occurs. Why does that matter for chicken? It's because your breasts and the skin on the breasts and the legs is going to brown much more quickly, and you're going to not have to have the chicken in the oven as long to get the same darkness on the chicken.
You just want me to put this stuff on here?
Yes, rub it in nicely.
Okay.
Massage the chicken.
Massage the chicken.
Open
like
up
that.
Open up its legs. Yes.
Open up its legs.
Yes. Open up its legs.
All right.
Get in there.
PG-13. Open arms in Minnesota. Okay.
Exactly. Season on the inside. Get in all the crevices on the wings. We want every piece of that chicken.
How much are we massaging this thing? And how much are we putting on here?
You know, this is generally speaking going to be enough for 2 chickens. The reason I make extra is because you're going to lose a lot on the tray too.
Oh,
so just go wild.
Okay, go wild.
Yeah, just go wild. Keep doing it.
Okay.
And then
tell me when it's too much, because I don't know if this is too much.
No, it's not. You're not going to do too much.
I go inside the chicken.
Yeah, so stand it up on its wings there, like that.
Like that?
Season on the inside.
Season the inside of the chicken.
Yep.
And never done this before. Never got this intimate with the chicken before.
Yeah, it's great. And you
only on YouTube. Only on the Open Arms YouTube.
That's right. So, and the reason we season the inside of the chicken is because you also have access to the meat on the inside, and that's going to help to season it more fully.
Oh, okay.
And so, you're getting it on the backside as well. So that's actually looking great.
Oh my God, I did a great job.
I'll be right back.
Okay, you go do that. I'll just stay here with this chicken. We're gonna have a date. This recipe, by the way, is going to be on our website, openarmsmn.org. I did a good job.
This is perfect. This is amazing. So,
I'm smiling underneath this mask. This is exciting.
But now what we're going to do, as you can see, all this is kind of flailed out all over the place. If you were to bake this in its current form, it's all going to bake pretty unevenly.
Okay.
Now, I've seen some, it's tying up a chicken is called trussing it, and I've seen some pretty crazy ways to truss a chicken. I don't think it's necessary. I think the only thing that you have to do is really tie these 2 back legs together and pull it tightly. As you go around this, make a loop around that side, make a loop around this side, and you've got these 2 ends, like so, and then you go around once, and this is just called a simple butcher's knot, and then you go around twice. Going around twice is going to be so that you can tighten it super nice and tight, and it's not going to slip on you. We're not going to throw this in the oven yet. Part of the magic of the dry brine is to let it sit on there for a little while before you actually bake it. What that's going to do is it's going to allow the seasoning and the salt and the sugar to penetrate the meat. And what you're going to end up with is not only seasoned skin, but also seasoned meat.
Sure.
So that's what we're going to do here is we're going to move this onto the rack, and then we're going to have you, Mike, walk it over to the fridge, and it's going to sit in there for about... Yes.
Okay, so we're walking this over to the fridge. How long is this in the fridge for?
This is going to be in the fridge for either 2 to 6 hours. I wouldn't leave it less than 2, just because you're not going to get the effect of the dry brine, but I wouldn't do more than 6, because it is possible for that meat to get in there, for the salt to get in the meat, and actually start curing the meat, which is when you're pulling out moisture from the meat, and it's going to just make it too salty.
Is there a point where it looks like it's ready to be out of the fridge?
So what I would say is that you can sometimes see that the skin will tighten up a little bit more. And with the skin tightening up, I mean, that's something you can look for. But I would just say, the butter zone is 4 hours. Like, if you leave it in there for 4 hours, it's going to be well seasoned.
We're in the chef's cooler.
Come on in.
I don't have access to this spot. This is exciting.
This is our chicken shelf. You can go ahead and put that on there.
The chicken shelf at Open Arms in Minnesota.
So one thing I will also say, sometimes the tendency, we're putting it in the fridge, let's put a cover on it. Don't cover this. Leave it uncovered.
Leave it uncovered?
Yes, leave it uncovered.
Okay.
That's going to allow the moisture to come out of it, which is kind of what you want. And it's not going to get it's going to make it so that the skin isn't soggy when you bake it. Because moisture equals soggy skin.
Kevin?
Yes.
Let's say goodbye to our chicken.
Bye, chicken.
Bye, chicken. We'll see you in 4 hours. And you're teaching me how to make a chimichurri sauce, Kevin.
Yes, and this is I will mention right off the bat, this is kind of a non-traditional chimichurri.
Oh, how so?
Well, a chimichurri is generally coarser chopped. We're going to use a blender for this.
Okay.
I almost sometimes call this a salsa verde.
Okay, so what am I doing?
Okay, so first things first, we've got a mixture of herbs here. We've got mint, cilantro, green onion, oregano, and parsley.
Okay,
So we're gonna just take all of these,
the whole thing.
with the exception of this oregano here. We're gonna pick the leaves off the oregano. These pieces here.
This I have to do work.
Yes, we're gonna pick the leaves off.
I have to eat one by one.
So here, let me show
Am
you.
I gonna be here till like 11:30 p.m.?
Let me grab some gloves.
Oh gosh, this is the don't do this at home. There has to be an easier way to do this.
We're doing one at a time. All you gotta do is take it. It's all pointing upwards like that. Put your finger on the top, not quite all the way to the top because it'll rip.
Yeah.
And then gently, without ripping the stem, pull it down, and then this top piece you can pull.
Okay. Like oh shoot.
See, you're all right. You're all right.
Too hard. Oh shoot.
See, there you go.
Oh. This is why you volunteer here, folks. OpenArmsMN.org.
If you like spice, one thing that you can also do, which makes it even more like a salsa verde, is you can chop up a jalapeno and put it in there, and that will add a little bit of spice in it.
Tell me why you decided to work here as a chef at Open Arms.
Well, I had been cooking in restaurants. I was a line cook at a number of different places. And frankly, there are a lot of great things about being a line cook. It's exciting, it's fun work. But I want to just go somewhere where I could actually like use what I can give to the world cooking. In a way that helps people. When you go to restaurants, people are paying for the food. It's kind of more of a luxury in a lot of ways. But I wanted to be able to do it for people who really, really needed it. And I love the message of like food as medicine and food as part of people's treatment. I thought that was pretty cutting edge from what I knew about food, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Great.
Yeah.
How long have you been here now?
Oh gosh. 3 years, I think. 3 years. Yeah, 2 years in various places. 3 years. Oh,
the boss is in the corner over here.
I've been here for 3 years. Yep.
3 reviews.
Yeah, exactly. I just blocked those out. So
Alright, so we got the salt and the chimichurri sauce. It's in the Vitamix.
Yep.
Do we need new Vitamix here, Chef Blake? Someone needs to donate a Vitamix.
That would be. We use blenders all the time, and we need another.
We need a new Vitamix if you're listening and watching this luncheon.
Okay, so we got the top on there. We're going to go ahead and turn it on. There you go. It could be a little bit thicker, but you know what? I'm okay with this because when you throw it in the fridge, it'll thicken up a little bit. That's olive oil, and olive oil kind of thickens up a little bit. So
we're gonna make new T-shirts that say "Cameraman Kyle." Guy called another.
Yes, you gotta get him in there.
Sure. All right, so chicken's been in the oven for about an hour and a half.
Yep.
And we've been letting it sit now for about 15 minutes or so.
Right, we let the meat rest. That's really important with really any meat after you cook it, especially large pieces of meat, roasts, chickens, those sorts of things, steaks.
Why is that important?
Well, because when you cook meat, if you think about like a raw piece of meat, it's floppy, it's kind of soft. As you cook it, the muscle fibers and the proteins firm up. And when that happens, they kind of shrink as well. And when they shrink, they push the moisture out of it. So if you take your piece of meat that you've cooked to, in this case, 165 degrees, out of the oven and cut it at that temperature, all of the water that it pushed out when it's at that temperature is still out of the meat. It's within there, but it's out of the muscle protein.
Sure.
So if you let it cool down, so to say something like 130 degrees, which is probably where this is at right now, that meat or that juice has time to redistribute into those muscle fibers, and then you're not going to lose all of that juice when you cut it. I'll use a boning knife. First things first, we're going to take off the truss, which is the piece of string that we put on there earlier. Make sure to get that off there because it's not edible, and you don't want non-edible things in food. And then what you do is you just run your knife down like so. And then so we've got this, the skin separated from the body. And then all you have to do is pull that off.
That's simple.
Yeah, it's very, very easy. And what that does is it pulls the, essentially the thigh bone out of the hip socket. And then what we're going to do with these pieces is we're going to take you got the thigh right here and the leg. We're going to run the knife through just like that. Like that. It helps to have a nice sharp knife. So you got all your dark meat right there, or most of your dark meat right there. And then with the bone, or with the breast, I like to use a larger knife for it. It's just going to serve you better. And be really careful. Feel for the breastplate, which is going to be right down the middle.
So a dry brined roasted chicken with the chimichurri sauce.
Chimichurri.
Kevin, Chef Kevin, thank you so much. We really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
You did a great job. We are in the kitchen with Chef Joanne. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Okay. How long have you been with Open Arms?
2 years.
2 years now. And why do you love working at Open Arms?
Oh my gosh, how much time do you have?
I have a whole hour. You have a whole lunch in there. Go ahead.
I love Open Arms for many reasons. I was a theater major, and a lot of my the theater that I did was based around social justice. So theater that sent out messages in that way. And so once I found my passion for cooking, I was balancing being in a restaurant and doing theater, and it was really busy, really crazy, really fun. But when I found Open Arms, it felt like it was combining both of my passions. I'm feeding people, I'm doing a great thing, and I'm cooking. It's just like my happy basket is here.
Oh, happy basket. I love it.
Yeah.
So you're in the happy basket right now, and you're teaching me how to make pad thai.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about
too.
this. Okay, so let's get going. How do we make this? Is this your own recipe?
It's not. I kind of touch with it here and there. But I've been following a blogger on YouTube for a while, and she cooks everything Asian that I love, which I found really intimidating for a long time. But she's made it really accessible and fun, and I'm not afraid to do it. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna soak our noodles in some hot water. This is key. You don't want to boil your water. With rice noodles, they're very delicate, and so if you boil the water, they're gonna get really mushy really fast. They're not gonna have that really beautiful silky texture that you want.
Right.
They're just gonna get all like, you don't want that.
What was that again? What noodles are we looking for then?
So we're gonna use rice stick noodles today.
Show those to cameraman Kyle, America's favorite photographer.
There are a lot of different types of rice noodles. Almost all of my ingredients I got here today are from United Noodles, which is right here in South Minneapolis. It's like 5 minutes away from Open Arms. So I highly recommend it. It's like my safe haven, my other happy basket.
And while those are cooking, we are doing what?
The sauce.
We're making sauce. Okay, so what goes in the sauce?
So we're gonna start. This is the secret right here. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Tell me a secret.
The secret is we're going to be using 2 different types of sugar, and we're going to caramelize them in some oil, and that's going to give the pad thai a really, really beautiful depth of flavor. This is palm sugar. We're going to start with the palm sugar. It comes in these little blocks, like so.
I've never seen this before.
It's delicious. It's kind of got that caramel flavor as well. It's similar to brown sugar, I would say. So if you can't find this, feel free to use brown sugar.
Okay, good tip.
The way that you will break this down is you can slice it or kind of shave it, if you will. I've also done it where you just put in a little bit of water and cook it down so that it melts. Otherwise, it's in this big block, and it's not.
And these are pretty hard.
They are, yeah.
They're like legit bricks.
Yeah. So the way you can do it is just by coming here and just shaving it. So for this recipe, we're going to do about 1.5 of these.
So we got our palm sugar cut.
Yep.
What else goes into this sauce?
So we're going to start by caramelizing the palm sugar and the regular granulated sugar.
Okay, so this goes in the pan with the oil.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm dumping
Let's
oil.
Yep.
Cameraman Kyle.
So just go around like 4 times.
Okay, so this is on high heat.
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Is that how it goes? Now, I have a question. How do you know when the noodles are done without you pulling one out and tasting it?
I would say, what I like to do is I just kind of pinch them, and if they have a little bit of resistance, that's okay. That's what you're looking for.
Resistance as in what? Like they resist
like,
you? They don't like you?
As in they don't just mush in my fingers. We're gonna reserve a little bit of pasta water. That's good for adding to the sauce if it needs to be thinned out a little bit,
Okay.
but also have flavor.
So we're going to drain these noodles. I think I'm doing this correctly. Did I do this correctly?
No.
No, I did not do it correctly.
No, I'm following that way. That was good, yeah. Let's run some cold water over this if you don't want them here.
Why are we doing that?
To start with cooking.
Do you do that with all noodles?
No.
Okay, it's just these type of noodles?
I do it for when I'm stir frying with noodles because, like I said, they're gonna cook again when they go into the wok. If I'm making like wheat noodles with like for spaghetti and I'm putting it into a sauce, I'm not gonna rinse them because I want the starches to go in with the sauce. We're going to cut our shallots, and so I can show you the cut.
Okay, I'll maybe give this one a try.
Okay, cool. So, you can use, there's Asian shallots, there's French shallots, you can use red onion. You really can use any onion in this particular dish. So just cut across and then into a small rice. You think you can handle it?
Oh gosh, I hope so. Okay, so cut across. I'm not good with knife skills. Did I do a good job? Like, give me a grade. C?
No, that's a solid B plus.
A B plus? Okay, so then, and I'm cutting across like this way?
Yep. Can I show you one thing? When you're holding your knife,
Yeah.
a lot of people tend to hold it this way or this way.
Yeah.
It's going to give you a lot less control than you think. If you hold your knife, take your pointer finger and your thumb and hold the blade, it's going to give you a lot more stability.
Really?
Yeah, and that way it's like the knife is more part of your hand rather than here because now it's kind of wobbly and over the place.
Okay.
Here you think you have precision, but again, it's not firmly in your hand.
Yeah.
So if you really take
Pointer and the thumb are actually on the blade itself.
Exactly, yep. One with the knife.
I want a new grade on this one. Okay, so I'm cutting lengthwise.
Yeah.
And then I'm cutting this and oh, you can tell there's a total difference there. How's our sugar? We're checking in on our sugar. So that's ready to pull, right, Joanne?
Let's go with our shape.
We're going even darker than that.
Shallots we're going to throw into the sugar along with garlic. Whenever a recipe calls for garlic, I like double, triple, quadruple it because garlic.
Now you set up a new station here.
I did.
What's going next?
We have chili powder, which isn't so exotic, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
We have tamarind concentrate. Tamarind is a fruit. It looks like that. And this is the concentrate. It's the pulpy, juicy deliciousness. It's got a very tart flavor. So that's part of the Thai flavors I was talking about. This is one of the sour elements. Then we have chili bean, soybean paste. So this is one of the spicy elements.
And last up you got
Fish sauce. Don't be scared. This is my favorite brand of fish sauce. One thing to keep in mind when you're buying fish sauce is go for one that's a lighter in pigment If it's darker, it might be a little bit older and have more of a fishy, funky flavor rather than the beautiful, sweet, kind of oceany flavors that fish sauce should have.
Okay.
Fish sauce should have.
With that, say that 4 times fast.
Once you have the fish sauce, you don't want to cook out that flavor so much. You just want all the flavors to come together. So if the heat is higher, it's going to tend to cancel out some flavors.
Okay.
So lower heat will make a happy flavor bomb.
Lower heat. Flavor bomb. Bippity boppity boo. There we go. Hey-o.
I'm going to spread it out so that the chicken has contact with the pan so that it gets a little bit of color. If it's all bunched together, it's going to steam rather than brown.
You have some green onions here, and you're making them look like this, and you have a really cool trick on how to do that.
I do, yes. This is something that I learned at the restaurant. So to make your green onions look beautiful and curly and crispy like this, what you're going to do is take just the green part at the top, and then you're going to cut it at a really shallow angle. So I am almost parallel to my knife here. And cut them really, really thin. Put these in ice water, and after about 5-10 minutes, they're going to look like this.
You start to curl.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's really nice for a presentation if you're trying to impress somebody.
And it comes out looking like this. You use banana leaf on the bottom, correct?
I did, yep.
And that's totally optional, but look how much better it looks when you plate it up like that.
Yeah, if you cut it out and then just slice down your banana leaf with some neutral oil, it's going to come out looking shiny and dark green and beautiful.
Joanne, beautiful just like you are. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, we are in the beautiful sunlit bakery here at Open Arms with lead baker Carrie. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Okay, before we get baking today, I want you to tell me why you love working here at Open Arms.
Oh, geez. I love everything about it here. I love that the volunteers are able to help out and participate. I love that we're baking for a mission. I love that the clients are getting wholesome, wonderful treats every week. And I love being able to create different desserts for them as well and keeping it seasonal.
How many cookies are you baking every week around these parts?
So we are averaging about 10,000 cookies a week.
10,000 a week.
Yes.
And that's a lot of cookies. Do you get tired of baking cookies?
No.
You don't? Seriously?
No, seriously.
What's your favorite cookie out of all the cookies that you're baking?
The molasses.
The molasses cookie.
Absolutely.
What makes that one better and different than all the other cookies?
It's more savory.
Oh,
And I like the savory aspect
Okay.
of it, and it has all the nice spices and a little bit of kick in your mouth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And you're not using many preservatives at all.
None.
Zero preservatives.
Zero preservatives. None.
So this is pretty good for you stuff.
Yes.
Even if it is a cookie.
Yes.
Okay.
It feeds your soul.
It is good for you. Food is medicine around
Yes,
here,
it
isn't that
is.
right? Okay, so you're teaching us how to make a recipe that has been on the Open Arms client menu for quite a while.
Correct.
The Birdseed Bar.
Yes.
And first of all, tell us what's in the Birdseed Bar.
So for a basic birdseed bar, we are working with peanut butter. We have bee-free honey.
Bee-free honey?
Bee-free honey.
What is bee-free honey?
Bee-free honey is made out of apples, and it tastes just like honey.
Really?
Yes. And this one in particular has a little bit of mint in it.
Where do you find that?
That is a really good question.
Oh my gosh, it just came in. Bee-free honey. Folks, Julia, thank you, by the way, for rolling in this bottle of bee-free honey. It's plant-based. And we should mention this recipe, gluten-free, it's vegan,
And dairy-free.
and it's dairy-free. So heads up to all of you watching this lunch and learn.
This is unsweetened coconut.
Okay,
And
easy to find.
that is small flake, but you can also do sweetened coconut, but it's going to make it a little bit sweeter,
Okay.
and it'll make it a little bit stringier. Then we have sunflower seeds, cashew halves, sesame seeds. These are the white seeds. And then we also have just salt. So why don't we go ahead with the peanut butter in the bowl?
This is the whole thing's going in there.
Correct.
Okay.
And if you need to lower the bowl, go right ahead.
And you're just using creamy peanut butter here. This
Yes.
is nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy.
Okay.
If you have cashew butter or if you have almond butter, those are great substitutes as well.
I like just the regular Jif peanut butter.
Yes.
I like just the plain $2.30 peanut butter that you get at the regular, Lunds and Byerly.
Or you can do chunky.
You could do chunky. I'm not, are you creamy or chunky?
Chunky.
You like the chunky peanut butter?
Yeah, I like the textures. Alright, so then go ahead and add in the honey as well.
Okay, the whole thing?
Yeah.
You have a hidden talent that I don't know about.
I can fix cars.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a talent. I don't have that
I
talent.
mean, that's my backup plan.
What have you done on fixing cars? What can you do? Can you fix an engine?
Yeah, I went to automotive college.
Oh, no way!
So, yeah. That's my first degree is automotive.
So you change the oil on your cars? And
I
you,
don't.
You,
I don't want to sit up.
so you went to school
Yeah.
to do all that stuff, but
Yes.
then you go and pay someone to change your oil?
I'll change my oil. I don't want to have to deal with the big buckets of oil that's used and have to sit around in the garage.
I hear you. I hate doing that myself.
Yes.
I'd rather pay someone to do that.
Exactly.
I don't wash my cars because I'd rather go to the car wash, pay someone $25 to wash in and out of my car. All right, so we got peanut butter in there. We got our honey in there. What else is going into the kitchen?
We're just going to start with that. We're going to turn the mixer on to stir. And you see it is starting to combine.
Get in here, cameraman Kyle. We're making t-shirts that say cameraman Kyle. Because I yell at Kyle to come in and get close-up shots. We're combining our bee-free honey that may not be available. But what else could you use instead?
You can use regular honey.
Okay.
You can use, I would stick with the regular honey. It does act as a binder to keep it all together when you're baking it off, since there's no flour or leavening agent.
Okay.
All right, how are we looking?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, I've never made this recipe before.
So, we're going to turn this off. What I'm going to have you do, this is the most important part.
Oh.
Scraping the bowl.
Do we need a new KitchenAid back here?
We need a giant.
Oh, we need something like
KitchenAid.
that. We need a KitchenAid like that back here. If you're
Oh,
watching
yes.
and want to help us out with the new KitchenAid, we need a big guy.
So why don't we go ahead and we're going to start with adding in our smaller things first.
While this is stirring, we're adding in the coconut.
Correct.
Okay, the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Okay, so we're adding in coconuts. Oh, cameraman Kyle's getting all the action here.
And if you want, you can just dump the whole thing.
Oh, I can do that. My goodness gracious.
We're not even done yet.
Oh my gosh, there's more?
Yes. Go ahead, add in cashew.
Okay, so now these are kind of like,
These
kind
are
of in
halves.
halves.
Sit in there and have the mixer, the paddle attachment itself will break them up as well.
Okay, so those are all in there.
So we'll turn that back on.
Okay.
The good news is you can't overmix it.
That's very good. For people like me, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I relate to Mike, I spend 0 time in the kitchen. I grew up on lean cuisines for 20 years of my life. You can make this bar too.
This is going to make it so that it's 10 times easier to get out of the pan once it's finished baking.
That's a good trick.
Yes. Another little trick I learned.
This is sticky. How do you get this out of here?
So, if you don't want it to stick to your hands,
I don't.
spray your hands a little bit.
Mine is low.
Then what you can do,
Okay.
so we're giving less mess by putting it directly over. Go ahead and use our hands.
Yeah, get right in there. Oh my gosh, I bet the kids would love this.
Yes.
So, what are your volunteers in the bakery doing when they sign up for a shift?
Oh, that can vary. So anywhere between scooping cookies, bagging cookies, helping out with running our baguette machine that we have that does all of our baguettes.
The baguette machine.
Yes. And then we also have our Duchess, which is what rolls our rolls for us. So they'll help out with running the machine.
Thank you, Julia.
And when we do loaves, they'll help portion out loaves. Pretty much anything that we're doing. They're
right alongside you.
They're beyond essential.
That's amazing. How long does this go on for?
So usually 325 for about 18 to 20 minutes is a pretty good guess, depending on your oven.
Okay.
And yeah, you can bake it longer if you wanted to, but it'll be a little bit more firm.
Okay.
Versus a chewier texture would take less time.
And then they come out and they look like this. Magic of television. They just appear on a plate when they come out of the oven. And they look amazing. And I'm just gonna try to
Go for it. Go for it.
So I did this work. I did all this work. I did the peanut butter.
So this one is a little different.
What happened with this one?
With that one, we decided to add in pumpkin seeds with the sunflower seeds. And in replace of the sesame seeds, we did flaxseed and pine nuts.
It's really good.
And healthy.
It's healthy. Yeah,
It's
you
really
can tell that it's healthy, but it's not like super dry.
No. Nope.
It's really good, Jerry. Thank you. All right. Those Birdseed Bars, Blake, are really, really good.
And they're fantastic for all sorts of different people as well. With them being gluten-free, dairy-free, all that stuff, it's great for party favors. It's great for anybody who has a dietary restriction, and that's why we love them here as well.
Yeah, they're so, so good. So this is Blake Longlin. He is the food services director here at Open Arms of Minnesota. Do I need to be made the co-host? Do we need to make Marvin the host of this? Catherine, are we good? Are we all set? Kyle, we're good? We're live? We're live. Welcome to Lunch and Learn. So all the recipes for the recipes that Kevin, Joanne, and Carrie made are available on openarmsmn.org. We got some goodies in front of us, Blake. What do we got?
So we got some white chocolate mocha cookies here. And then we also have some carrot cake, which is really well made and really moist. And my favorite, so I say this to everybody, our chocolate chip cookies the best chocolate chip cookies.
People go bananas for those
and
cookies.
I'm not just tooting our own horns, but like Carrie made a lot of great changes here, and that cookie is one of them.
Fantastic. Okay, so question that I asked all of the chefs in those videos here. We're going to be sharing those videos on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page. So if you weren't able to catch some of that information, we're going to share them in high quality here in the coming days. One question I asked all three chefs, I'm going to ask you too. Why do you love working here at Open Arms?
I love Open Arms. So I started here almost 3 years ago, and when I first walked into the building, the overall energy was always just so positive, and it felt magical in a sense. And then I got to work here, and being a chef for a really long time, I mean, I've been a chef for probably 12 years, and so working here compared to, let's say, a large company or a for-profit company where it's all about the bottom line. It's about this. Here, it's all about the people. It's all about our clients, and it's all about having a really fun, good time here. Mm-hmm. So that's why.
Good. Well, we love having you here. We love having all the chefs here. I had a great time downstairs in the kitchen. We had some people ask some questions, including people who have registered for today's Lunch and Learn. And here's a question for you, Blake. So someone asks, based on a changing inventory of ingredients due to seasons and the donations that you guys receive downstairs, how do you determine the types of meals and the weekly menus that you send out to clients?
So our menus are on a rotation. So we have 4 menus, and our menus is a week's worth of meals. And so we go through a week by week, and then we come back around to week 1. And then we make quarterly changes. So we make about a 20% change in our menus to try to keep it seasonal or reflect anything that we get back from our client surveys. Mm-hmm. So we survey our clients, they tell us what they like and what they don't like, and then we try to adapt our menus to that. So that's how we decide to make changes.
Okay. So you're getting a lot of client feedback.
Yeah, we get lots of client feedback. We get feedback every day when we ask for it, when we don't ask for it, which is great. Mm-hmm. We always want to know what our clients want so we can continue to adapt.
Let's talk a little bit about what you are making downstairs. You guys are making a lot of food. We heard Carrie talk about how many cookies she's sending out every single week. So what are you making and sending out to our clients?
Well, we make lots of stuff, obviously. I mean, we go through a lot of food here, but we make every client 12 to 14 meals. So, and what that means is they get entrees, they get soups, they get salads, they get fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. They get a half gallon of milk. Mm-hmm. We send them a lot of different foods of different varieties.
Cool. So you're sending out all sorts of different types of food. Mm-hmm. And then let's talk about those by the numbers, because that cookie number just made me go crazy. Yeah. So you're sending out how much milk around here?
So we send a lot of clients milk every week. So every week we send about up to 1,000 half gallons of milk. Mm-hmm. Times that by 52, that's almost 52,000 half gallons of milk.
It's unbelievable.
It's a lot of milk.
What else are you going through a lot of around here?
We go through a lot of fresh produce. I mean, everything we make is from scratch, mm-hmm. 0 preservatives, all that stuff, and no added sugars, all that stuff. So lots of produce. We go through a lot of produce, a lot of onions, a lot of apples, a lot of lots of different things. Meat. We go through a lot of chicken, a lot of leaner meats, mm-hmm. a lot of beef. It's quite impressive, if I do say so.
Yes, it is. It's a lot to keep track of, I bet.
It is a lot to keep track of, but I'm not the only one. I have a lot of help from my chefs as well. Yeah. Not one person can have their eyes on everything. So I rely on my team and the chefs to help me out with that as well.
And you mentioned a lot of produce, and you have a great relationship, obviously, with our Open Farms program.
Yes. Our Open Farms produces, I want to say at least 60% during the growing year of a lot of our produce.
Wow.
And that's a lot of produce that they pump out for us. I mean, tomatoes, let me tell you.
It's a game buster here for tomatoes.
Yeah. After growing season, we definitely see a spike in the need to buy tomatoes because otherwise we use it from the farm.
Yeah, so if you missed our tour of the farm with our director Kelly, that is here on our YouTube channel. Here on the Open Arms YouTube channel. So check it out. It's a really cool tour of one of our farms, organic farms. That one is out in St. Paul. So you heard in the videos about a couple of the needs that are in the kitchen and the bakery. We talked about the Vitamix. You guys are using that to blend meals for some of our clients.
Yes, so we do have a pureed option, our medically altered or textured menu, which the dietitians may have talked about. But yes, so any client who has trouble chewing or swallowing, we do blend their meals for them in our Vitamixes.
So maybe a need for a Vitamix downstairs?
We always have a need for Vitamix, bases, parts, cups, all that stuff.
And we talked about that huge KitchenAid that looked a little daunting.
Oh yeah, the big, I think it's a 40-quart Hobart mixer. It's one of the larger commercial mixers that you can get in the industry, and we definitely need a second one.
we're producing so many cookies.
When you're thinking 10,000 baked goods a week in
Yeah.
that one mixer, and you can imagine how many batches we have to put through one mixer. So.
What are other ways that people can help if someone's watching this and wants to help out, you know, and make their dollar go in a different direction? What are other ways that people can help with goods and items that you guys can just put to use right away?
Sure. So, I mean, we're always in need of like 1-cup measuring cups. We prefer plastic because we don't want to use glass. Glass is very dangerous in the kitchen. We can always use pots and pans. We have a need for knives sometimes, serrated knives. We do get our knives donated to us from a company called Carasolo. Carasolo comes in, sharpens our knives, and replenishes our knives every other week. So we always work with sharp knives. Sharp knife is a lot safer than a dull one. So
you know, I was down there with Kevin when he was cutting that chicken. That knife was sharp.
Yeah, they are always sharp and ready to use.
That's great. And if you are interested in helping us out, donating supplies to us, you can go to openarmsmn.org. You click donate at the top, and then if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's a list of supplies. I know you guys are always looking for olive oil too.
We love olive oil or olive oil canola oil blends. We use it in everything: salad dressings, sautéing. Even some of our baked products has olive oil in it. So yeah, we love those, and preferably in a large, like a gallon size.
The bigger the jug, the better.
We go through a lot of meals here, guys, so we have to make sure we buy big, right?
Yes, absolutely. And then briefly, before we let you go here, Blake, I know you have some more cooking to do. How has COVID impacted what you guys do around here? I bet it's severely impacted. I know it has severely impacted what your team is doing here at Open Arms.
I mean, just like everybody else, our worlds are turned upside down. You know, we went from being able to have up to 20 to 25 volunteers in the kitchen to only 10. You know, and our numbers are only climbing in clients. We're also serving COVID clients now. So, I mean, we went from 1,000 to 1,400 in a matter of months. And when you think of 12 to 14 meals for every person, times that by 400, you got 4,800 extra meals in just a few months. Right. So, and we're doing that with half the volunteer help. So obviously we went through a lot of changes. We've had to change our menus. We went from being able to serve 9 different menus to 2 menus, and now we're expanding that back out to include more options. But yeah, there is a huge period where we had to buy a lot of pre-chopped items from some of our purveyors because we didn't have the manpower or person power to chop everything. Because if you think about, we go through 300 pounds of onions every week, if not more.
Wow, 300 pounds a week?
Of just onions.
Of just one item, one vegetable.
Right.
300 pounds of onions a week.
Woo! So yeah, it turned our worlds upside down. But you know, kudos to us, we never skipped a beat. We always got food to our clients, as we always will. We'll never not be able to do that. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and with no waiting list either.
No waiting list. Never a waiting list.
Right. Blake, thank you. We really appreciate it. And if that has motivated you to come and help us and help the chefs here in our kitchen, we'd love for you to volunteer with us too. openarmsmn.org and click on volunteer right at the top. And in 2 weeks, on October 14th, you can join our volunteer engagement team. They're going to be joining me for our next Lunch and Learn session. We're going to play a little game show. And they're going to tell you about how fun it is to volunteer here, whether it's in the kitchen, at the farm, in the bakery, or any other way here at Open Arms. And then on October 28th, I'm going to go on a virtual delivery and take you with me for the ride. We're going to go out to Fridley, and we're going to show you how the meals that our chefs are making here at Open Arms go from our kitchen out to our clients. So there's a whole process. We're going to go to pack out. We're going to show you how our meals get shipped, and then we're going to show you a delivery route. So that's coming up October 28th. So we appreciate you watching. I'm Mike Marcotte. Thanks for joining us for this Lunch and Learn. We hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.